Honestly, I feel like I've made this video like 1,000 times, but I'm gonna have to do it again. So recently there's been a lot of discussion about supply drops and microtransactions within Call of Duty because Charlie Intel tweeted out saying that supply drops were the worst monetization system ever in COD and should never return or exist in any games. So I've talked about this a lot, where supply drops, to me, you can't say they're terrible as a whole, right? You can individually point out specific things about them, but saying the entire system was bad and that there's nothing good about it is kind of an extreme statement. I think that's extreme for most things out there. I think supply drops are just kind of forced into being this terrible thing because there were bad things about them that kind of ruined them in a lot of ways in some of the CODs, not in all of them. And it's hard to also pinpoint what each supply drop system was like because the systems changed substantially throughout the life cycle. Like every system from Infinite Warfare onwards was changing like every other month. There was something new being added. Like Black Ops 4 was the best example of this. Like Black Ops 4 system, oh my god, it was changing every other day. Like there was some good times, there were some really bad times, some really good times. The system just was all over the place. It was never consistent with how it was. Obviously, like Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare, you can maybe, even the same thing for those, because they add in guns later on or whatever. The systems are never the same all the way through, and currently how they are, it's also very different. So it's very hard to sit down and be like, okay, this system is just terrible all around. I feel like there's good and bad about all of them. I actually made a video ranking all 6 of the supply drop systems. If you want to check that out, link will be in the description down below. But today I want to talk about the simple fact that supply drops, some of the systems, not all of them, are better than what we currently have in terms of the microtransaction systems, and I'll explain why. So for this video's purpose, I'm not talking about the systems that I did not like. I think Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 were the worst 2 systems for a number of reasons. They clearly did not have any sort of understanding of fairness or any of that because a lot of the guns were locked behind supply drops and there was no alternatives to earning them. But every system afterwards, Infinite Warfare, World War II, Modern Warfare Remastered, and BO4 all had some alternatives to earning weapons other than just like a triple play contract in Black Ops 3. Like Black Ops 3 had a couple triple play contracts, and Advanced Warfare had some weapon variants that they gave away throughout different Master Prestige tiers. But there was no direct way to earn every single gun within the game, as there is for the 4 other Call of Duties that I also listed. So the majority of the systems does have direct ways of earning the guns that you want. A lot of people don't realize that. They just kind of assume that every game it was all locked behind supply drops, which yes, they were in supply drops, but you had alternatives to earning them, and not all of them were that hard to get. Of course, with the current system, it is much more fair and easier to get guns because they're either just within the 15 tiers or 30 tiers on the battle pass, the free tiers of course, so everyone can get it, or they are available through an easy challenge that you just have to complete. Usually it's like do 15 matches and do something within 15 matches or something like that. They're usually pretty easy to do. Yes, that's more fair, but remember there's also cosmetics within the microtransaction systems. Now, of course, if you don't care about cosmetics, I know a lot of people who don't. They don't care about camos, they don't care about skins. Of course, those people are not going to care, and that doesn't matter to them. They just want their DLC guns, and that's it. And those people are going to prefer what the systems they have now because it's much easier to get the weapons. That makes sense, but for the people like me who do care a lot about cosmetics, I do think cosmetics add a lot of replayability to a Call of Duty game because you have things to grind for, you have things to work for, so you're not just playing endless matches of Call of Duty without actually earning stuff other than attachments on your weapons and then maybe the dark matter camo in the game. Having a massive amount of camos or skins to go for is something that adds a lot to these CODs, and a reason why I love going back to World War II, Modern Warfare Remastered, Black Ops 4, and all those prior games with supply drops because there's so many cosmetics you can go for. Now, a big argument that always pops up is, well, at least within the current ones you can directly purchase those cosmetics, but there's no way to get them for free. And if you look at the good systems, remember the good systems within Call of Duty where we had supply drops, World War II, you could directly get whatever you wanted pretty much, whatever camo or skin you wanted. It would just be much quicker if you got lucky from a supply drop, or if you got lucky with salvage and you spent some money on some supply drops to get more salvage. But you can earn those yourself, not that difficultly. Like, you could grind for it and get it yourself. It's just money and luck will obviously speed up the process. but there's no way to speed up the process in the current games. There's absolutely zero way. It's just there. You pay 20 something dollars for a bundle, you get the camo you want, the skin you want. Not everyone wants to spend that kind of money. I have barely any camos and skins within Cold War in Modern Warfare because I just don't want to spend a lot of extra money. And the Battle Pass, oh my god, I can't give a rat's ass about the Battle Pass. I mean, there are some cool items in it, don't get me wrong, but A, you gotta pay for it. Now, yes, if you complete the entire Battle Pass, you will be able to make your money back, but for people like me who don't really have the time to complete things always within a specific time frame, sometimes you don't complete it and then that's game over, right? So you're not going to get your money back, and therefore, yes, you are spending money to buy that. Regardless, you're going to be spending money in the first place on it. It's not that much money. It's not like a ridiculous amount, but it's still money in general. If you're a player who doesn't want to spend extra money than what you paid for in the game itself, then you're not going to want to get the Battle Pass. And the free tiers on the Battle Pass usually suck. Other than the 2 guns you get, they're usually not very interesting camos, and even the Battle Pass as a whole, the better camos are always within the shop bundles. We've noticed that. And Black Ops 4 had a Battle Pass. Yes, the items weren't that great, but you had the Battle Pass plus having supply drops, and now you also have, obviously this happened after the game's life cycle, I know, but they still changed the system to make it easily the best system we have, where every time an item pops up in the shop, you can just straight up use reserves that you earn via contracts right in there. You can also straight up get every gun you want, most of the mastercrafts in the game, a lot of Mark II variants, you can just straight up purchase them. Great system. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it's after the game, so it doesn't even matter. Well, at least they did something after the game's life cycle. Look at Modern Warfare. They haven't changed anything about that system. If Modern Warfare changed something, like maybe added an in-game currency system where you can straight up purchase the bundle items, maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, that's fair. But no, they didn't change anything. Black Ops Cold War is not going to change anything after its life cycle. They're going to leave it exactly how it is. So any of those bundle items you want, you're going to have to spend a hefty amount of money. And don't get me started on the fact that most of those bundle items are for one gun. You get one blueprint for one gun. $20 usually. That's on average. There's like $15 bundles, there's $10 bundles, there's $20 bundles. They're all over the place. Even $15, even $10 for one blueprint on a gun is ridiculous. With the better supply drop systems like World War II and Black Ops 4's current system, if you were to throw in like the same amount of money you would spend on a bundle, you can get an insane amount of stuff compared to what you're going to get from one of those bundles in Cold War. Insane amounts. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how much it is. Obviously, sometimes it depends on luck. Yes, there is luck involved, but it's not going to be a big difference from if you're lucky and if you're not lucky. You're still going to get 3 guaranteed items for each supply drop, assuming it's World War II. Let's just use World War II as an example. You're going to get 3 guaranteed items for each supply drop. One supply drop's $2. And most of the time, you're going to get some decent stuff. And even if you don't get decent stuff, you're going to get salvage. It's just going to happen. And that salvage you can use to craft literally whatever you want in the game, pretty much within the collections. And there's a lot of things in the collections. And if you don't want to spend any money, which is someone like me, I don't want to spend money, there's daily contracts, weekly contracts, daily rewards. They just give you money for just nothing. And then of course you get more salvage from obviously doing the opening supply drops, and you get supply drops for free as well. So there's so many ways to earn salvage in this game and get collections to get stuff in the game, whether it's cosmetics or guns. You can earn them. And when it came to the game's life cycle itself, it was really awesome because when they dropped new DLC guns and they put them in the collections, you can save up your salvage beforehand, so you knew a new DLC pack was coming, new guns would be coming as well. You would wait for it, and then you'd spend all that saved up salvage on the new guns right away, so you had them day one right away. With this new system, I have to wait at least a day or two before I'm going to use the new guns, because I'm not getting a tier 15 within a couple hours. It's just not going to happen. It takes a decent amount of time to get to those tiers. For me personally, I don't have all day to play, so sometimes it'll take a week or two before I get to tiers 15 and 30. And that's obviously kind of annoying. I kind of want to use them as soon as possible, so sometimes I like to just straight up throw in the $20 extra or something at whatever it is to get the gun right away. I did that for the PPSH because I have a YouTube channel. I wanted to cover the PPSH as soon as possible, so I did that. That's annoying. Is it better than Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 completely locking guns behind supply drops and having absolutely no alternatives to earn them other than maybe a few little things that you can do to get a few extra guns? Yes, of course this is better, but that does not mean it's better than all of the systems we've had. There has been better systems. Just because gambling, which is a very negative thing, is attached to it does not automatically make it bad. Now, I will say, as a whole, this is important to hear. as a whole, it is good that they removed them. I will admit that. And the reason why is because, yes, there is a lot of people out there who do struggle with gambling addictions, and they shouldn't have systems like that in the game because that just further pushes possible addictions, and that's just not good. That's obviously not a good thing. But not everyone has those addictions, and for people who don't, it's not that bad of a system, especially the ones that literally let you earn them separately. It literally lets you earn everything in the game. You don't need to put a single dime into it. I don't expect supply drops to come back ever. I don't want them to, but I do want free ways to earn things in the game, and they don't have to be easy. They could be grinds, and you might be like, oh, that's kind of contradictory because before you said you don't have enough time to play these games anymore, but you also want it to be grindy. Well, yeah, I don't really mind as long as it's not attached to a limited time event. If I know I have as much time as I can possibly find to earn these things, that's going to be kind of fun. Even if it takes months or months to get it, it's going to be rewarding to earn it after a couple months, as opposed to just being like, oh, I can never get it because I don't feel like putting $20 into it. Now, you can give us that option. Let us either put $20 into it or just grind for it. If you give us that option, I will grind for it. It's going to get me to play the game more. And guess what? If I play the game more and I put more hours into it, I might actually be tempted to buy some other stuff in the shop. I might be like, yeah, I played this game enough to the point where I kind of want to buy some other stuff. These supply drop systems from these prior games have made me want to go back to them again and again and again because there's so much I haven't even earned yet and I know I can get, whether it's from luck or it's from actually earning them myself from playtime. Infinite Warfare, there's still tons of variants I don't have. Do I care? Do I need those variants to play? Am I going to cry about unfairness? Oh, he has a pay-to-win gun. No, I'm going to try to go for it myself. I don't have to rely on luck. It was annoying in Black Ops 3 when you had to rely on luck, yes. But Infinite Warfare, most of the variants, you can just craft, right? World War II, pretty much every gun in the game you can get yourself. I'm going to go grind for it. Black Ops 4, I do right now have every single DLC gun in the game in Black Ops 4, so there's nothing to complain about there. But when it comes to cosmetics, I have tons of stuff to go for. Tons of stuff. I still play it all the time because I love going back trying to get some stuff, you know? Of course, there's some cosmetics in Cold War and Warzone and Modern Warfare that they will give away for free through different events or through, gunfight tournament rewards, or like I said, obviously the Battle Pass tiers. But it's very few. There's maybe like 5 to 10% of their cosmetics that are available through those means. So I'm done with the rant. I just wanted to get that out there because, yeah, I don't really understand why people think supply drops were like the worst thing in mankind. Yes, it was pretty bad for a few of the CODs it was in, but definitely not for the majority as a whole, right? It's like you get a dog and the dog bites someone. The problem wasn't the fact that you got a dog. The problem was the fact that the dog you got bit someone. You know what I mean? The problem wasn't supply drops. The problem was the fact that they put guns in supply drops. They could have made the system just fine. Again, for people with gambling addictions, which I'm sure there's a decent amount of people who have that, that's unfortunate. And I really don't think they should ever add it because of that reason. And I don't think they should fuel people who have gambling addictions because it is a real thing, right? I do think people need to also take personal responsibility and make sure, they don't play games maybe that have those sort of things in them. But obviously, they still want to play Call of Duty, I'm sure. So it's not nice to exclude people just because they have some sort of an addiction to something. So I am glad they removed it. I am. But that does not mean the systems were the worst things ever. There's much worse things in Call of Duty. Trust me. Regardless, let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Peace out.